against US dollars and more notably against UK pound and euro. So as a result, we have delivered a top line growth of 9.3%, but even if we exclude the currency impact, we would have delivered an organic growth of up to 6.4%. Not only that, on the gross profit and profitability line, we continue to excel. Our gross profit remained at the record level of 18.2%, at a very similar level to the second quarter, where our ambience business has been doing very well, and despite the fact it has been weakened somewhat in the third quarter in terms of the growth trajectory, we continue to deliver exact same gross profit margin at 18.2, which is a very solid result. These have continued to support it by a strong ambient seafood business, a continued strong pet care business, and obviously with frozen business sales back to growth, our margin has recovered very strongly from roughly about 7 or 8% during the second quarter, and now we are back to 11%. So as a result, support overall improvement in terms of the gross profit margin. And not only that, operating profit has continued to be very high at almost 2 billion Thai baht. We admittedly, the SG&A has been increasing markedly compared to the same period last year. This is mostly due to the impairment of our investment in Canada. This is our subsidiary, which unfortunately has gone through fire incident. So as a result, we have marked down some of the asset value to reflect the true tangible value of the asset on our portfolio. So as a result, but if we netting that out, our SG&A to sales ratio is still well below 12% of the sales. And as a result, our net profit has been very strong. This has been partly driven by the fact that our core operation has continued to be very solid. And on top of that, Red Lobster, the share of loss from Red Lobster has been improved very significantly from the loss of as much as 700 million Thai baht during the second quarter, which obviously the full lockdown hurts. But during the third quarter, the share of loss has improved markedly to the level of 15 million Thai baht. So as a result, we have delivered the record net profit performance. As you can see here, this is a recap of the first 9 months. The picture are more or less the same. Our revenue growth has been very high at 6% compared to the same period last year. Gross profit up 17%, operating profit up 43%. And obviously the most notable improvement has come on the reported net profit line, which we have grown 73.6% compared to the same period last year. Please do note that this reported net profit growth also include the fact that we have booked in a one-time legal expenses for the US legal cases worth roughly 1.4 billion Thai baht in the second quarter year 2019. But even if we exclude that out, our net profit on the normal operation basis are still growing by 15%. And moreover, our net debt to equity has been continued to be at the low level at below 1 at 0.97 times. That is compared to 1.07 times at the end of the year 2019. This continued to be as a result from our strong operation performance, strong cash flow that we have delivered so far this year. This is a long-term, slightly longer term in terms of the gross profit margin trend. We can see that after the very tough time during about year 2008, early year 2018, our gross profit margin has experienced a gradual step up. That during year 2018, we have moved up to about a level of 15% gross profit margin, and in year 2009, much of year 2019, we have stepped up our margin again to roughly about 16%. And obviously, with year 2020 and the record margin we have booked so far in the second and third quarter, our gross profit margin this year has another step up in the range of about 17% on the full year basis. So, this can mean nothing else. This is not by chance or by coincidence that we have been right at the right place at the right time. We have been focused very much on process improvement, efficiency improvement, and as a result, we have delivered a solid and steady improvement in terms of gross profit margin. And as a result, we have a very strong result that we have achieved today. So in terms of the COVID impact, we continue to thrive with COVID. A lot of investment community for capital market participants would have anticipated that during COVID-19 and the shutdown, ambient business should continue to do well. While many has doubt that with the city gradually resume its normal business, the ambient seafood may drop. And the truth of the fact is that the growth has decelerated a little bit. During the third quarter, the ambient seafood has continued to deliver about 13% growth on year-on-year basis, which is an unprecedented growth achievement that we have achieved in this ambient seafood, mostly canned tuna. But moreover, despite the growth in the can or ambient seafood business, we have also experienced the return of the growth of the frozen business. Now we are back to about 5% during the third quarter of this year, and this marked the first quarter that we delivered a growth of year on year. And as a result, our margin has been improved, so on and so forth. And not only that, the pet care, value added and other business has continued to deliver very well. The growth of 12% with a margin of as high as 26%. Obviously, this has continued to be attributed to the fact that we continue to push through into the value added enhancement initiative, whether on the marine ingredient that we try to monetize our core product better by making it, when viralizing it into the higher value product like tuna oil, like calcium, like collagen, and all these products that we have been recently invest and launched into the market. This has played a very big part in terms of improving our overall strength of the business. And award and recognition, clearly, thanks to the capital market participant, thanks to the organization of the award, and thanks to this recognition, Thai Union has been received a numbers of recognition from the global publication, from the regional publication, and the global award, that including Asia Best CEO, Kun Tirapong Chansri has won the Best Asian CEO from 10th Asian Excellence Award year 2020, as well as our CFO, Kun Yok Ari, has also been awarded as the Best CFO in Asia. And of course, with our strong initiative on ESG and sustainability, Kun Tirapong Chansri, our CEO, and Dr. Darren McBain, our Group Director of Sustainability, has also been recognized by the Intrafish Seafood Power 100 as the number 1 and number 46 most influential people who drive the positive change into the global seafood industry. And of course, with our treasury team, as strong as it is, Kun Yongdut has been recognized as a treasury team of the year out of Thailand from the Asset Asian Award year 2020 as well. And that is more award regarding sustainability. Not with that, as I mentioned earlier, we have continued to pursue on the food tech startup that drive innovation. We're looking forward to brought into and materialize all these new initiatives, all these new startup knowledge, know-how, and bring them into action. We have invested in a number of venture here: Alchemy, Food Tech, Mana Food, Hydroneo, and with various new protein. These are work in different ways. Some of them are working alternative proteins. Some of them that we have been invested are working insect-based proteins. Some of them work even on the aquaculture production assistant. But one of the notable that we would like to share is that we are now introducing and launching our Thai Union plant-based seafood and meat. A lot of you may have heard about this impossible meat and the plant-based meat that has been around for quite some time now. It has been a big thing, and the trend has been fully adopted by the global consumer but yet it is the one that is growing very solidly. So with that recognition, Thai Union has, as a global food, one of the global food operator and producer, we have pursued this vision to enlarge and broaden our market and broaden our product line. And now we embrace the plant-based seafood and meat. And this is the one that we are actually producing out of our own facility. That's been introduced and innovated by our Global Innovation Center. So clearly, I mean, the alternative protein market size globally is very large. It's 12.8 billion US dollars in year 2019, and expect to have a healthy growth of almost 7% CAGRs from now in year 2025. Clearly, I mean, 12.8 billion sounds like a large market, but if you compare to the global livestock market, this is still on a very small scale, very small size, and we are looking that this is a good growth opportunity that we can potentially grow into the future, along with this trend of the health loving, and when the global consumer are taking more focus in terms of taking care of their own health and looking to the let's say to reduce the environmental impact while not losing the taste aspect of that food. Okay, so these are some of the examples. I mean, we have sell some of the alternative protein to Thamachat Seafood, which is our subsidiary now. We sell through our Q3 channel. So in the latest vegetable festival in Thailand, we also launched our vegetable product, maybe alternative protein, non-meat product through our Q3 brand. We sell on a private label basis to one of the Thailand largest vegetarian food distributor or food chain called Vegetarian, and we also sell it on the private level to some of our customer as well. Okay, in terms of the financial performance, I will just go on quickly here. I've gone through numbers of this already. The sales top line has been growing very strongly. The gross profit margin is still at the record level of 18.2%. Red Lobster has significantly improvement, and all these has resulted in the third quarter gross profit, net profit increased by 50% compared to the same period last year to the record level of 2.1 billion Thai baht. This is the usual chart that we show about the tuna price. You can see here that why is fluctuate from time to time, but overall, the tuna price is still within the band that we see as reasonable. In the band that we believe that we can operate, which is at about 1,250 to 1,600 or 1,700. So at this level, we believe that we can manage it well, and as a result, the operation result and the margin that we have been delivered are already a testament to the fact that we can manage these tuna price very well. Sales growth has been very strong, driven by all businesses. I'll just go down through this very quickly so that we can have time back to the Q&A. Okay. In terms of the breakdown the growth, we can see here that the can business has continued to be the key driver for growth, with the tuna still growing at 11% compared to the same period last year. We have seen the key frozen business growth has been narrowing. Shrimp business, lobster business has been practically flat compared on year-on-year basis, but other seafood has been growing very well. Other frozen seafood has been growing very well, which has driven overall frozen seafood back to growth at about 5%. Also, the value added and the pet care has continued to deliver our low teens at 12% growth for pet care and 10% for value added and other businesses. Also, we also have the currency impact. US is lesser so, and Euro currency impact has been favorable for us, as Thai baht has been depreciating against US, as appreciated against Euro and pounds by roughly about 7% compared to the same period last year, which is mostly the reason for growth in that region. The sales mix has not been changed much. It's been very well diversified. We continue to have our majority of sales, largest market in the US market at 42%. Obviously, with the growth of the ambient seafood in the US market, the proportion has been enlarged marginally compared to the last 2 years, from 38 to 42. European market has been at 29%, which is still the second largest market. One of the notable drop is actually on Thailand domestic market, where we see tourism activity drop in Thailand, and as a result, our sales has been dropping in the local market as well. And on the branded business and private label, we continue to have the branded sales mix of about 43% of our company total sales. Gross profit operation has been excellent. Cannot say more than this. I mean, the gross profit has been improving by 25% compared to year on year during the third quarter, and on a 9-month basis, the gross profit has also increased by 17%. We continue to deliver a very favorable operation. This is both out of the strong revenue growth and the gross profit margin improvement. Operating profit has been up. SG&A, as I said up front, it looked a bit high. I mean, with SG&A to sales at 12.4%, but should we exclude the impairment of asset that we have been got into an accident in Canada during the second quarter, the SG&A to sales percentage will be dropped to about 11.9%. So that is still a reasonable level of expectation. But nonetheless, I mean, if you look at the outcome of this, despite a marginal increase in the SG&A, our operating profit had continued to deliver an increase of 32% on year-on-year basis during the third quarter, and on a 9-month basis, our operating profit has been improved as much as 43% compared to the same period last year. EBITDA, a very same story. Third quarter up 22%, the 9 months still up by 6.4%. Now we're back to the net profit. Again, I cannot stress enough. I mean, this is not an easy situation, environment that we are operating in. We have, as a Thai Union, has been doing everything to make sure that our food production facility are still ongoing, that they can remain producing safe product to the global consumer around the world, and that our employees are safe from any potential damage or pandemic that is currently going rampage in the world. So as a result of those initiatives, we have been trusted by our global consumer, and as has been witnessed through our very strong sales growth, through our profitability enhancement, and our correct investment strategy, as we can see from the significant improvement in terms of Red Lobster operation from where it was during this on quarter-on-quarter basis, of which we report significantly less loss, despite the fact that the pandemic is still rampaging. So as a result, our net profit, very happy to deliver that net profit in the third quarter has been up by 50% compared to the same period last year. And on a 9-month basis, our net profit has been improved by 15% compared to the same period last year. This is one of the adjustment items. Clearly, I mean, as I mentioned up front, SG&A has been a bit on the high side. We have done some goodwill impairment of the asset that has been gone through the fire accident in Canada, worth 183 million Thai baht, and we have some of the tax-related item to that incident as well. So I mean, in total, we have approximately, extra item on the negative side, actually of almost 200 million Thai baht. So if we exclude this one-time impairment, our actual underlying operation would have delivered an even stronger operation of 2.3 billion Thai baht. On EPS is about the same. It's just tracking the net profit performance. One of the things we would like to mention here is that we continue to maintain our full commitment to Red Lobster, and the share profit has been improving significantly from a very low level during the second quarter. It's been improving from 700 million Thai baht losses into just 54 million losses. Please do note that the COVID is still very tough. Okay, we have done everything in our power to reduce the cost and expenses of this operation and make it as efficient and as right size as possible. And as a result, but still, we still do not deny the business is still very tough there. And as a result, on year basis, we delivered a marginally worse off share profit from negative 33 last year to negative 54 this year. But if any one of you has heard about what has been going on about the global food service industry, we believe that we have been dealing with it as effectively and as quickly as possible. So as a result, in the third quarter of year 2020, our total contribution from Red Lobster investment has already back to the profit contribution. Okay, the Red Lobster shareholding structure has gone through some of the shareholder restructuring, but to note, Thai Union Group has not changed their position. It's just the existing part, the previous partner decided to exit the business and sell off their share to the new partner, of which we have been collaborated very well today. Of course, I mean, this is just elaborating what we have done with Red Lobster. Clearly, with the restaurant, most of the restaurants are open for off-premise business, and 94% of all business are open for in-store or in restaurant dining. But obviously, we are restricted by the social distancing measures, and therefore we cannot accept as full or in terms of the capacity, and we respect that. We take consumer safety first. And with some of the measures that we are ensuring that the touchless payment, we make sure that the people and consumer feel safe. Instead of big book menu that has been using from this table to that table and to that table, we are implementing this one sheet menu. It's like your dish mat that you put it there. There's a best-selling 30 items there. People just grab it, look at it, order, and simply throw away menu. That way, people are feeling safe. Consumers are feeling safe. We at Red Lobster, we continue to provide a tasty experience, and on top of that, the very safe experience that consumer can come and enjoy the seafood as it has always been over the last 50 years. And on the cash flow side, as we can see here, during the third 3 quarters of this year, we have already reported free cash flow of 9.2 billion Thai baht. That has already more than any of the full year in year 2018 or year 2019. Okay, we still have 1 more quarter to go, and we are very delighted to say that we have managed our cash flow very robustly. Our finance team has worked their very best to make sure that we can recover as much cash to make sure we can return it to our shareholder. As you can see here, of course, I mean, with the strong cash flow, instead of drawing more loan, we basically pay back loan. We pay back as much as 2.5 billion Thai baht during the first 9 months of this year, and that is also on top of the fact that we continue to pay interim dividend, and we also by doing some treasury share repurchase program that was 1.5 billion Thai baht. We announced the plan, we execute, we bought as much as 1.5 billion Thai baht, we pay dividend, we pay back debt, and these are all possible due to the fact that we are able to robust and manage a very strong cash flow operation. In terms of the net debt, there is no change about this. We continue to have majority of our debt on a long-term basis, of which will be due, of which on long-term debt, most of it, big chunk of it will be is due to be refinanced beyond 20 to 23. Okay, so that is continue to deliver continue to communicate our financial strength. Now on the ratio. ROE is stronger, our CE is stronger. That is in line with our solid operating performance. Inventory day and net working capital has been declining about 6-7 days from a very solid level. The debt to equity, the debt to EBITDA has been declining, both due to the strong operation and the lower absolute debt that we have paid back during the year. I've just gone through quickly. I mean, the tuna price and raw material price has been relatively stable. The one key change is that the tuna price has been up by 23% on year-on-year basis, of which has been translated into the average selling price that's been improving. And shrimp and salmon are practically stable compared to the same period last year. This one is more notable change. The Thai baht has been depreciating against all key currency, against US dollars by about 2%, and more significantly against euro and pound, with Thai baht depreciating against those two currencies by roughly about 7%. In terms of the business breakdown, ambient business continue to do well, growing at 12.4%. Of this, the quantity growth has been about almost 9%. So obviously the gap difference is implied the average selling price increase, indicating the fact that we can pass on the higher fish costs to our customer. Okay, and as a result, I mean this is very and our gross profit margin has continued to deliver well at about 22% level. Frozen and chill business. This is the one that has been got a lot of people worried during the second quarter with a lot of lockdown. Our sale has been declining by 14% during the second quarter. But back into the third quarter, our sales been up again by 5% compared to the same period last year. And we do note during the third quarter year 2019, there was no COVID. And we continue to manage to deliver a better result, a stronger result on the frozen business. And as a result, the gross profit margin has been improved back to the normal 11% range. Pet care value added, very resilient growth at 12%, growing come in both the pet care and value added and others business. As I said earlier, we have been focusing very hard on the innovative and the new growth initiative. So as a result, the gross profit margin has continued to be at a very decent level of 26%. Overall, I mean, in terms of the growth by region economy, US has continued to deliver at a very strong growth. Most of these are driven by much of these are driven by the strong ambient seafood. The canned business are continue to do well in the US market. But not only that, the US frozen business has recovered significantly and delivering a growth of as much as 14%. This is partly due to the fact that the city has been opening up. The food service operator has been resuming that business. So as a result, we managed to sell better. And clearly there was less loss from Red Lobster operation as the Red Lobster operation itself has been improving during the third quarter year 2020. European business, why did the top line sales in Thai baht term look great at 7.2%? I would note that while we have registered an actual organic growth, but that is very minimal. Thai baht has been depreciating very significantly against euro and pound by about the same amount, by about 7%. So excluding the currency effect, European ambient business was pretty stable. Okay, I mean, with the current environment where the food service has been opening up, people going out to eat more, we strongly believe that the fact that sale was in the European was stable compared to the same period last year was a very good sign. That at least there was no pantry loading, and that at least people don't stock up the ambient seafood and not making a repurchase in the coming quarter, which already been indicating very clearly in the message in the third quarter numbers that we continue to do well. People in general at large has practiced more home cooking, and as a result, the key ingredient like tuna, like the frozen seafood that we sell has continued to do well. Thailand, this which undeniably, I mean, the tourism has disappeared from the country. Okay, I mean, so as a result, the food service, especially on the tourism side, has been affected, and as a result, the sales been down by 14%. But clearly, I mean, this decline has been far offset by the growth in other key markets, as I mentioned earlier. So as a result, our consolidated sales has continued to deliver a very solid growth of 9%. Emerging market has been pretty much the same picture. The frozen business that we are selling to China and Japan has been somewhat weaker compared to the same period last year. I mean, this is mostly due to the lower domestic consumption in those regions, but the fact that we continue to have the strong growth in ambient seafood in the Middle East market continue to support our sales. Overall, I mean, we have delivered a very good sales at a growth of 9%, margin record of 18.2%, and gross profit delivered at 6.3 billion Thai baht. Okay, with that, I'll just pass the stage back to the Q&A that we have been received from the floor. Please do note that despite the session has been conducted in English, for the respect of those who send the question, if the question has been sent in Thai, I will answer in Thai. Thank you very much. And for the first question, could you give us a bit more detail on litigation that cost 1.4 billion baht, the current shareholder? Please do note that we have been engaged in the antitrust litigation back since year 2015. and as the case pan out, we have been subtle with our plaintiff, which are mostly our customer. So we have been provided about 1.4 billion Thai baht for the provision for this settlement in the U.S. court cases. And we believe that it has been finished. We have been fully provided for the case, and of all the plaintiffs that has been suing us over the antitrust charge, we believe that we have settled with the very large majority of them down already. There remain a very few minor cases left, of which we believe that we have been provided enough and sufficiently for them. So as a result, during year 2020, that expense does not recur again, and we do not expect this event to come back again. On the number 2 ข้อ 2 แนวโน้มผลประกอบการไตรมาส 4 จะเติบโตต่อจากไตรมาส 3 63 ในช่วงเดียวกันและช่วงเดียวกันก่อนหรือปีไม่เพราะอะไรทิศทางผลการดำเนินงานปี 63 คิดว่ารายได้จะเติบโตจากปี 62 กี่เปอร์เซ็นต์เป็นผลมาจากอะไรตรงนี้ต้องขอประทานโทษจริงๆด้วยนะครับผมเนื่องจากเราปฏิเสธไม่ได้ว่าสถานการณ์ในโลกเราปัจจุบันเนี่ยมีความไม่แน่นอนสูงมากนะครับผมตอนนี้เนี่ยว่าทางยุโรปก็มี second wave ของโควิดกลับมาแล้วนะครับผมแล้วตอนนี้เนี่ยดูเหมือนกับทั้งประเทศสหรัฐอเมริกาก็มีการเปลี่ยนถ่ายผู้นำนะครับผมจากเรื่องของอเมริกา presidential election นะครับผมเพราะฉะนั้นเนี่ยนโยบายอาจจะมีการเปลี่ยนแล้วก็โดย dynamic ของตัวโรคโควิด -19 เองเนี่ยก็ยังไม่ได้มีการยังไม่สามารถยืนยันได้อย่างชัดเจนนะครับผมว่าเทรนด์จะเป็นยังไงดังนั้นทางไทยยูเนียนนะครับผมจึงต้องขออภัยมาท่านที่นี้ซึ่งเราไม่สามารถแชร์ในส่วนของ outlook ของ business เราได้นะครับผมเนื่องจากความไม่แน่นอนที่สูงมากๆใน environment ในภาวะการปัจจุบันนะครับผมเพราะฉะนั้นเนี่ยในเรื่องของผลประกอบการไม่ว่าจะเป็นไตรมาส 4 ของปีนี้หรือปี 2021 ปี 64 นะครับผมคงขออนุญาตตรงนี้เนี่ยว่าเราไม่มีการตั้งเป้าหรือ communicate เป้าไม่ว่าจะเป็นยอดขายหรือว่ากำไรนะครับผมในช่วงปลายปีนี้หรือต้นปีหน้าแต่ว่าเราก็ยังยืนยันนะครับผมว่าในฐานะของไทยยูเนียนนะครับผมเราก็ตามที่เราได้ deliver ในช่วงที่ผ่านมาไม่ว่าสถานการณ์จะยากลำบากขนาดนั้นเราก็ยังพยายามที่จะทำให้ดีที่สุดนะครับผมเพื่อที่จะยังคงรักษา operation ของเรานะครับผมยังคงสามารถผลิตอาหารซึ่งเป็น vital commodity นะครับผมของผู้บริโภคทั่วโลกเรายังคงเซฟการ์ดในส่วนของ staff ของเราให้มีความปลอดภัยและแน่นอนที่สุดเรายังคงดูแลรักษาผลประโยชน์ผู้ถือหุ้นของเราให้ดีที่สุดครับThe number 4 question is the Impossible Seafood is a very good idea where it's a global innovation center based geographically. Thank you very much. We will try to continue to innovate our business to accommodate the new trend of the world. Okay, and our global innovation center, I'm very happy to say that it is based in Thailand. It is actually based in the same head office as the Thai Union Group in around Sanam Pao area. So we continue to work not alone. We since starting of the year we have engaged into this space F innovation and we are not alone. Okay, with the Space F and with the startup that's been signing up for us, we have been invested into a numbers of startup recently. So yeah, we will continue to pursue. I mean, as on the slide that see on your face, we continue to invest in alchemy food tech. We continue to invest in Mana seafood and risk new protein. I mean, these are some of the new startup that will help fuel our innovative initiation. So we acknowledge that we are not alone and we do not plan to do this alone. We believe in collaboration is power. With the number 5 question is, with recent appreciation in Thai baht, should we be worried about the impact of the bottom line until you has done anything or plan to do something with every 1% rise in Thai baht against US or Euro? How much will it impact into the P&L? this question has been raised a lot of time. We cannot really pin down the numbers to be exact in terms of how much is the impact from the 1% change in currency and the financial impact to our P&L. But what we can say is that obviously, I mean, we have our operation overseas. We are export-based company, so therefore, I mean, the baht depreciation is clearly better for us. But clearly, with the baht has been appreciated recently. To I believe the last time I looked was about 31.3. Please do note that we have gone through a much more baht appreciated level in the early in the year. I think early in the year we have gone through the level of 30 baht dollars, and we still manage. We still manage very well. Internally we have done a lot of hedging instrument. We've done a lot of swap to make sure that our trading revenue and our sales revenue are very well protected against any foreign currency risk. แนวโน้มธุรกิจปีหน้าเป้าหมายการขายจะเป็นยังไงขออนุญาตนะครับผมแชร์เหมือนเดิมก็คือเนื่องจากสถานการณ์ยังไม่แน่นอนนะครับผมไม่ว่าจะเป็นเรื่องของโควิด -19 ไม่ว่าจะเป็นเรื่องของภาวะการเมืองในแต่ละประเทศเราคงขออนุญาตไม่แชร์นะครับผมในเรื่องของ guidance ในที่จะแนวโน้มผลประกอบการที่จะเกิดขึ้นในไตรมาส 4หรือปีหน้าครับงบลงทุนปีหน้าวางไว้ที่เท่าไหร่ตัวเลขตัวนี้ยังไม่มีการเปิดเผยนะครับผมปีที่แล้วเนี่ยจะขอไกด์อย่างนี้แล้วกันว่าปีที่แล้วเนี่ยเรามีการตั้งงบลงทุนไว้ที่ 4,500 ล้านนะครับผม 4,500 ล้านเมื่อช่วงต้นปี 2020 นะครับแต่ว่าพอมีโควิดเนี่ยเราก็มีการตัดงบนะครับผมเราก็มีการ rationalize แล้วก็เลือกลงทุนในสิ่งที่มีความจำเป็นสูงสุดนะครับผมโดยเฉพาะในเรื่องของการลงทุนปกติแล้วก็มีการถ้าเกิดรายการไหนไม่จำเป็นเราก็ตัดออกไปแต่ว่าแน่นอนรายการที่เรายังตั้งใจที่จะลงทุนอยู่หลักๆก็คือจะอยู่ในช่วงของ innovation นะครับผม innovation เนี่ยเรายังเดินหน้าลงทุนอยู่ในเรื่องของ new product initiation นะครับผมตรงนี้เนี่ยที่เป็นพวก ingredient ที่เป็น high value เนี่ยเรายังเดินหน้าลงทุนอยู่ในเรื่องของตัว automation นะครับผมinvestment อะไรก็ตามที่จะส่งผลให้เรามีประสิทธิภาพในการทำงานดีขึ้นนะครับผมพวก automation พวกนี้เนี่ยเรายังมีการลงทุนเดินหน้าอย่างต่อเนื่องตรงนี้เนี่ยไม่มีการตัดบัดเจ็ตแต่อย่างใดนะครับผมแต่ว่าก็สุดท้ายเราก็มีการลดบัดเจ็ตลงเหลือ 3,700 ล้านบาทในปีนี้นะครับผมซึ่งณปัจจุบันเนี่ยในส่วนของ capex ของเรานะครับผมที่เรามีการใช้ไปก็อยู่ที่ประมาณ 2,800 ล้านนะครับผมในเชิงของ3ไตรมาสแรกนะครับผมก็ยังเป็น on track พอดีเลยนะครับผมเมื่อเทียบกับ capex ตอนนี้ที่เราตั้งไว้ที่ 3,700 ล้านบาทนะครับปีหน้ายังไม่มีไกด์แดนซ์ยังไม่มีตัวเลขนะครับ Number 9 the COVID-19 is likely to fade away in the second half of 2021 how would you do to compensate for the drop in tuna can sales compared to the COVID 2020 and would it be the growth driver in 2021 and 22 we are seafood producer we don't know if COVID will fade away by second quarter of year 2021 Our job is to adjust ourselves based to the current situation. Therefore, we are not planning. Again, we are not providing any guidance to begin with, and we are trying not to speculate in terms of where the COVID-19 cure will come in. And if it come in, the quickly it is, the faster it will be for the world to recover. And therefore, I mean, in that instance, obviously, with the diversified business that TU has, if canned tuna would have been growth would have been falter a little bit, we certainly believe that our frozen business, seafood, which is split account for practically almost other half of our business, will continue to grow and thrive in that circumstances. But overall, I mean, please do note we do not provide any guidance in terms of any speculation of how situation will pan out, and more importantly, I mean, we are not providing any guidance financially. How do you foresee tuna cost trend in the next year? We'll play by ears. Apologize, we do not provide the guidance in terms of the absolute average tuna price. Although we believe that the normal tuna price should range between 1,300 to 1,700 and that price range. Thai Union along with our supply chain can continue to operate well. ธุรกิจใดบ้างปีหน้าที่จะได้เห็นการเติบโตดีอันนี้คงขอไม่ตอบนะครับเนื่องจากเราคงไม่มี guidance ในส่วนของ business outlook ของ Thai Union Group นะครับบริษัทปรับตัวอย่างไรในภาวะธุรกิจเช่นนี้นะครับแน่นอนอย่างที่เราได้ทำไปนะครับผมเราก็ในภาวะเช่นนี้เนี่ยมีทั้งปัญหาของในเรื่องของ pandemic นะครับผมก็คือเรื่องโรคระบาดแล้วก็ในเรื่องของปัญหาในsupply chain หรือพวกนี้ซึ่งเราเนี่ยก็โฟกัสนะครับผมไม่ว่าจะเป็นในเรื่องของการที่จะให้ความสำคัญกับความปลอดภัยของพนักงานความปลอดภัยของอาหารที่เราผลิตนะครับผมทุกอย่างเนี่ยได้ deliver ในเชิงของ global standard นะครับผมเพราะฉะนั้นเนี่ยเราก็ไม่มีปัญหาอะไรในเรื่องของภาวะการผลิตและจนถึงปัจจุบันไทยยูเนียนก็ยังเป็นที่เชื่อใจนะครับผมและที่ไว้วางใจของผู้บริโภคทั่วโลกที่จะให้เราเนี่ยสามารถส่งมอบคุณค่าและส่งมอบอาหารได้ให้กับผู้บริโภคทั่วโลกได้ตามปกตินะครับOkay. There is some compliment from you from the floor. Thank you very much. We acknowledge all these good recognition does not come just because what we do, but clearly because of your recognition and your contribution to what we have done, and not just with you as an individual investor. I'm talking about the recognition from the global publication, global investment community, and we really appreciate every of them. Thank you. There's a question: are you looking to expand your business into meat and chicken business? We are seafood producer. Okay, so I mean, even the fact that we have been dealing with some of the chicken, some of the other meat outside of the seafood. For example, we have put some chicken in our pet food. We have doing some of the ready-to-eat food, which is outside the seafood scope. But I rest assured, I mean, our core business will continue to revolve around the seafood business, and we will continue to observe any opportunity that comes by. Okay, so that looked like the end of the list of the question. Thank you very much all participants in the opportunity day today. I, Bess, as a representative from Thai Union Group Public Company Limited, would really like to thank you, all of you, to join. Would like to thank you, Stock Exchange of Thailand, for providing this facility that allowed us to continue to be able to communicate and talk to you on each quarter as usual. Thank you very much and have a good day. Stay safe. ขอบคุณครับ สวัสดีครับ